Hey, y'all, what's up? That was Vero G, Letter to You. I welcome y'all to another special edition of the show. Today, we're shining the spotlight on a talented, versatile, and incredible hardworking woman who has built a career across music, television, radio, publishing, modeling, acting, and event production. Born and raised in NYC, Lower East Side. Our guest discovered her love for music at just 7 years old. Since then, she has spent more than 15 years developing her artistry and creating music influenced by R&B, pop, soul, hip hop, and Latin sounds. She is an award winner, recording artist, author, actress, model, producer, radio personality, television host, promoter, and the creator of the Vero G Spotlight brand. Through her television show, radio program, and magazine, she has helped independent artists from around the world gain visibility and tell their stories. She has released an extensive catalog of albums and singles, published more than 40 books, and received numerous honors, including the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. Now she's preparing her eighth album, Self Love, which continues to perform, collaborate, and create music videos, produce events, and expand her growing media platform. I want y'all to welcome to the stage Miss Vero G.
Hi, thank you. So that was beautiful, by the way. I'm gonna say that.
Uh, you got a lot. After reading your bio, I was like, wow, you've done a lot. So, I'm glad and I'm honored to have you on my podcast to talk to you about, your journey and what you got going on.
Yes, definitely. I'm honored, and I'm just excited. So I'm ready. I'm ready.
So, you've grown up in let's begin at the beginning. You were born and raised on the Lower East Side of NYC.
Yes.
What was your childhood like?
Oh my. Where to start? I think overall it was a lot of eclectic types of things going on that time in the neighborhood. It had some, of course, downside to it, the violence and that sorts, but there was always uplifting things I saw as a child. Music was a big thing, a part of it in the neighborhood. People having, when have festivities, people unite to each other and have a good time. So I think watching that as a young child and kind of like using that to now what I do, it's really great to embrace that and utilize that for my own thing to get back as well.
So, how did growing up on the Lower East Side shape your personality and your creative vision?
Oh my, that's a good one. That's a good one. I think, yeah, right. That's a good one. I think honestly, I think how it shaped me was to kind of appreciate the small things in life, right? Like family, music, things of the arts. That's another one too. I always love to embrace arts as well in all types of shapes and forms. But I think for the most part, how the community embraced me and the music side was I'll just make a short run to it. I was able to at my junior high school do be a part of the choir with them, and I think that was part of the community work I did, along with being in school and having to embrace me and be a part of that kind of situation as well in the neighborhood. So it's a little bit of everything you could say. I just to sum everything up, it's just it kind of embraced me and it kind of like mold me who I am today from the community.
All right. So, what did the young Vero dream her life would look like?
You mean like a typical day for me, or?
Just like music, and like how did you get like into music and all that?
Oh man. I have to give props to my mom and my dad. I think they knew at a young age I haven't had a calling at that time. And my mother always played music on the weekends, cleaning up and that sorts. And it just came in tune. And then down the line, it's just grew more of a passion, if anything, to like kind of grow to that from that point of an interest in music to becoming now, the person I am today. And it really evolved, if anything. So I think my parents really instilled that in me at a young age to be like, you know what? If you got something, go all the way for it.
Yeah, true. I feel the same way because there's a lot of independent artists that want to go get out here and want to make a name for themselves, and sometimes it gets hard, and you got to put all your energy, your money into it. So how what would you like from your experience advice you would give to a young indie artist that's trying to get out here in the game?
Oh my God, there's a lot of things I could give though, but I'll make it short. from the experience I've been through, oh my God. Overall, I will say there's three elements I feel any artists out there watching later on, who are upcoming, who are just starting out. I think one of them is, of course, be humble. A lot of times I see artists that come and go that just have that biggest ego trip. And I realize you have to stay humble. That's the biggest thing. People have to understand that. I think that's one of another one, of course, I will say is be consistent, always working hard, always pushing out content, always just love what you do, put it out there to the world to see, or keep working on yourself, no matter what you're doing. And the third one, I think to me, the biggest one I think really will help a lot of artists out there is building a great team or a network of people that support you and want the best from you as well.
So, by you saying that as well, what kind of challenges have you faced starting out?
Oh my God. I guess from the very beginning, it was the self doubt for me because at that time, it was like, when you go through situations in life, you feel like, should I really take that step to like kind of tap into that kind of world, or am I ready for? So with that moment, I felt like I wasn't kind of ready, but I wanted to kind of test it out. So that was one of my issues for myself. Down the line, of course, is lack of support or team. Like let's say family members or friends were kind of like, oh, you're not gonna make it, stuff like that, and that kind of like put a little part into that motivation I kind of needed for myself. Another thing I will say is financial. That's a big one too, as well as being
Right.
an artist. I like people to know, like you have to, like you just mentioned, you have to invest in yourself. You have to be going out there, facing people and interacting. Either when it comes to showcases, either coming to meet and greets, or whatever the case may be. You have to be your own person to make sure you're getting heard out there anyway, shape, or form. So I think that's a lot of things hurdles I have to go through personally at that time. And I learned down the line because it's like a formula for me. And I realized after learning through those trials and tribulations, I'm like, okay, now I know what works for me, what don't work for me. And I learned from that at that point, from now on. Yeah.
So, because after reading your bio, I mean, do you ever like take a moment to just sit back and just think about like where you came from to where you at now, and just like because I know you're doing a lot, but I always ask artists, do they take that moment to just sit there and just reflect on the accomplishments that you've had since you started in the game?
Yeah. Around 2 years ago, my mom passed away. And I would tell you, no lie to you, after she passed, it took me time to really self reflect, forgive me, and look back of the things I've encountered in the very beginning into even becoming an artist, like later on that time. Cool, but like prior to that, very true beginnings of who I am at that time. And I saw how my mother really influenced me a lot. And when she passed away, I was like, wow. And when I looked at the, things I had to go through, showcases with mics, work with various peoples at that time. And I was like, wow, I really have come a long way, really. And it took me that moment in my life to kind of sit back and look at everything.
So I read your bio, and you had a choir.
Yeah.
How was it to be announced that you guys were first place winners?
Oh my God. I feel like I was on cloud nine. I never won anything, by the way.
Oh,
I never did. So it was like, oh my God, I get to win something and take it home. So it was kind of an interesting kind of situation going on at the time. And I never forget, true story. That same day, my dad, with the building he lives at the time, the school's not that far. So I had to go around the building so he wouldn't see because he was in the stoops. So
right.
I would go by and I'm hiding, and I have it's a big trophy by the way too. And actually I have it in the room, I should bring it out. But I have it over here moving around, and he saw me. I'm like, he was like, "Oh my God!" And he's still crying, and he's like, "I won!" And he used to give me a big hug, and just those moments really capture most what I do now. But it was just those moments really, really made me just appreciate it.
All right. So I see as well later on you had the opportunity to work with the Al Sharpton Choir, also known as the Chains Choir. How did that opportunity come together?
Oh my God! Okay, so this happened a couple years ago. I think it was around because I think it was like over 20 something years ago. My at the time my child's father, he had I think he has an AM station, Al Sharpton, so and or something. They were promoting. They were looking for like I guess choir members. They're looking for talent. Da, 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 da. I said, oh, he was the one that put me. He said, hey, listen, once you give it all, try it out. So they were looking for auditions at the time. So I was like, you know what? it was at the National Action Network, which is on 145th Street. And I was like, you know what? Let me go give it a shot. So I went to the auditions. Of course, there was other people there, very talented, doing what they had to do. And then when it was my turn, of course, the nerves, it started kicking in. I'm like, oh,
Right.
do not do this to me now. Work with me, So luckily, by the grace of God, I remember I had to do, it was like not a whole song, but I think it was the I forgot the name of the song. It was some song. It was like it was no music acapella, by the way. And I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot the name, but I was like, all right. So I did it, and I kind of flipped a little bit, but I was like, the guy said, no, you're good, you're good. There was like three judges there across the table, and like, okay, I left out of there with like knot to my stomach. I'm like, oh my god, I don't think I made it. I don't make the cut. I don't know. So within 2 or 3 weeks later, I get an email because I kept saying they're gonna email people if they are, selected. So 2 or 3 weeks later, I get an email from them. And I looked at it, of course, and it says, congratulations, you have been selected to the Al Sharpton's Change Choir thing. And I said, what? I was screaming. I was like, so I used to see when I was in school at I was in college at the time. Oh my god, like running like a crazy woman. And I remember they gave us a day and time, we're in the same location, of course. And they were like, okay, it's our first meetup, da da da. And I got to meet the other members at the time. It was really cool. It was a really good experience, and it was a lot of rehearsals, of course, and we were able to perform a couple events. One was actually at Washington D.C. There was a
Okay.
event going on, I believe, and it was beautiful. It was actually on the lawn, front, not in front, but like around the surrounding area over the White House. So I was like, wow, this
Yeah.
is really like that wake up call, like what? And then we were able to. This is a thing they do every year. I believe I don't know if they still do it now. Back then they used to do it every year. It was in honor of Martin Luther King, and it was what's that? Sheraton Hotel. They do it at, and it was a lot of celebrities. And I was like nervous because we had to perform there, me and the group. And I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. And this is true story, by the way. I can't make this up. I actually saw Robin Thicke. Oh my god, he is so tall. We was in a line about to go on stage perform, and he sees us. Hey, ladies, how you doing? I'm like, oh my god, this is true story. I can't make this up. He comes up to us. He's like, oh, good luck, ladies. You gonna do good. And he comes up to me and he looks at me, and I'm like, my heart is in my ass. I'm like, oh my god. And he's like, he gives me a kiss on my hand. I'm like, and I'm like, you're about to go on stage. I'm like, is he a married man? I'm still thinking at the time. So he walked away. And I told one of the members that she started laughing. She's like, oh, you okay, girl? You about to have menopause. I said, no. I'm never watching this hand again. True story. So that's a little quick background story with that. But yeah, we got to see a lot of great things between that time and learn from that experience.
So by you doing all that and seeing like the upper echelon and mainstream of artists that you've seen, have you ever got to a point you got starstruck, or you just was like, hey, I belong?
Um, in the beginning, of course, with that experience, I had like a starstruck moment, of course, with that scenario. But I think doing this for a while, I grew to have a develop to feel like this is my home. This is where this again, like God's calling. It was not up to me; it was up to Him to kind of align everything, and it was
Mm-hmm.
just me to go through those, those hurdles or those situations to where I'm at today. So I think I was being tested. Of course, I'm still being tested, but I think for the most part, I feel like I'm at where I'm at right now for a reason. Yeah.
Okay. So what inspires you to leave the comfort of a group setting and to pursue your own solo career?
Yes. I think honestly, it was just I wanted to make a change more than anything. I wanted to make a change in my music, meaning inspiring people, heal people at a long time, as well at the same time. And I think for the most part, my big thing to me is help one another, right? Like we see a lot of times people are just like to themselves, they're self-centered, they don't want to help nobody. And this is why I bring my own platform, like you just mentioned a few minutes ago. Like this is why I say I want to help other artists. I want to help people because I know firsthand how hard it is out there just to even get your name out there, even seen or being reputable in any case possible. So I feel like with my own testimony going through certain things in life, and I kind of like wanted to gain that and put that to my help for other people, and it's
Right.
just a whole ball chain with that. So yeah, yeah.
So let's dive into that because like pretty much I'm doing podcasting as well, just
Yeah.
like you are,
Awesome.
helping artists out here because there's a lot of talented independent artists, a lot of mainstream artists that sometimes doesn't get the credit that they deserve, and so to have a platform where we can give them an opportunity to shine is incredible. What do you feel as like from like what is your reception that you get from when you help an artist that might have thought like nobody was hearing her?
Yes. Down the line when I first started doing this a couple of years ago, I didn't know what I was gonna get myself into because when you're building your name, but then you're also like taking time for yourself to kind of help other people. I was just like, let's go with the flow vibe. Let's see how this turns out. And I remember when I did the first branch with the Vero G Spike TV show. It was like over now 9 years ago. And to see the reception I have received when artists is like, hey, listen, when you get your next show, I want to be on it, or this is really cool, man. We don't usually have this in New York City. I said, okay, well, we'll continue doing it because of that. People started getting more receptive, contacting me, hey, I want to be in your next show. When is this happening? So then we started doing that to showcases. And then that was really good. It was a good feedback on that. And then eventually I said, what does artists need that eventually is part of marketing? Radio. That's the next one. So we did radio for a little while. We're still doing that. Then I said, what's the next thing? Magazine. So when I started seeing the branch off the Spotlight brand, I perfectly understand how many independent artists need these platforms because it's very crucial, especially they trying to get their name out or being seen. And a lot of times, the independent market, it's unfortunately is what it is.
Yeah,
You don't get a lot. A lot of times, you really even we're limited, in the podcast world because we only could do as much as we can.
yeah,
We don't have like a sponsor or a backer to kind of invest in more where we could possibly be more visibility. So with the artists, that's why I felt as being an artist myself, I was like, you know what? I want to be the one to at least give them a little push, if anything.
right,
And to see the times of artists like after I do a show with them or we do showcase, whatever it is, to see that there's times they'll contact me like the next following day or so, hey, listen, man, you just made my day, or listen, you just really changed my life, just being seen, or I will get like messages from that, and that really I will cry because
right,
it's like, we live in a society where everybody's about themselves. And
true,
to see like people like ourselves that want to just genuinely help people is rare. And I feel like when just people like the artists or whoever will like contact me in a DM or like on Facebook or Messenger or whatever the case may be, and they're like, "Oh, listen, man, that meant so much to me." And I had artists when I was doing showcases, no lie to you, they would come from the DMV area, they would come from Canada, they were
mm-hmm.
coming all over the world to like literally like states and state because they heard what we were doing showcases down here in the city, and to see that's what I'm talking about the reception you got, like people that don't even know you but heard about what you do, it speaks volumes. And I think that's why I continue doing what I'm doing now because I want to continue just helping many people as possible to get the opportunities.
So by that being said, like, cause I've been pretty much doing this for I think almost a year.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Congrats.
So just like you, I have my radio station pushing music and stuff. And sometimes like I guess like this probably might be something for to help me as well for as advice for like me starting out trying to do multiple avenues. Like what advice would you give somebody like myself that's like trying to get into like multiple avenues of podcasting, radio, pushing music, trying to getting shows on your station and stuff like that.
I think the first thing is you have to believe in yourself. That's the biggest thing because
Right.
nobody's gonna believe in you but yourself. That's the biggest thing. You have to like learn on that on your own. I learned that to me a while, but I think if that is your foundation, like okay, I have to believe in myself, what my brand is, and how far I could go. That's one thing. I think another thing is always I say updating your brand as they call it, like having new different types of things, graphics, different sounds, or like putting ads. Ads is another great way too as well. Put your ad out there so people could be like, oh, that's cool what they do, and then they contact you, and this is what the services you provide. So that's another way you could say networking as well. It's a big one.
Right.
Um, I think another thing with the radio part, this is good because I did work with AM before, and AM they're very iffy because remember it's run by FCC. So
Right.
like with that, you're like kind of like not yourself, you're kind of limited. You can't, it's like you're having your clean version of yourself, right?
Right.
So yeah, that's what the only thing is kind of, it's good you'll be on more visibility with AM or FM, but the thing is they have very strict rules. And if you don't go into their kind of like, situation, it could be a lot of issues. So I think that's the downside to it. But the
Right.
upside to it when it comes to podcasting, like here, you're able to speak how you feel. You don't
Right.
have to have people like kind of like micromanage you in a sense. But if
Right.
you want to do, let's say AM or FM, I think that's great because of visibility and you get more audience of listeners as well. And your brand expands. So I think it's a lot of pros and cons what you want to do. But I think in general, like anything you want to like expand your brand, go all the way in it. You know, you know, forgive me, promote yourself. You are you're like your own marketing tool, right? So
Right. True.
go out, yeah. So go out there, meet people, network, especially when it comes to any kind of networking events, particularly with like the field you're in. Do that. Try to talk to people like online, whoever the case may be, and they, oh, you do music. Oh, by the way, I have this. Okay, and then you guys work on the details, and then everything's good. That's how. And then word of mouth. That's another big thing I want to let you know. Word of mouth is really, really crucial, especially in the music scene. So let's say, hey, I had a great experience with this person. It was radio or whatever, showcases, whatever. That means now they're gonna tell their homeboy or homegirl who was also an artist, hey, can I go on their stuff too? It's so many elements, but I think these factors will really be helpful to growing what you're doing as well.
I appreciate that. Also, as you since you do interview and all that, how do you deal with artists that get because I know sometimes artists don't have that space that they can actually just talk about like everything.
Yeah.
Like how do you deal with that when they just like let all they self out and just like pretty much might talk about some stuff that might be like, hey, like maybe you shouldn't be saying, but they get comfortable and they just want to just talk. Like, how do you, uh, by giving an artist a platform?
Um, that's a good question. I think it varies a lot of times, right? So there might be some artists or guests that you have, they're like not really communicative and they're just like standing there or sitting there more like, just looking at the wall. So you have to like kind of get with I mean, it's more the vibes. If you see or sense something's off, be like, hey, let's get off of a bit topic, like a little bit of humor really helps a bit. And maybe
Right.
that's by kind of breaking the ice with them because you know what they're going through sometimes. They're going through some personal things,
Yeah.
so maybe sometimes not all about because they're not really there. It's just they may be facing certain things. So I mean, I think to answer your question, like breaking the ice is really big, and say something funny like, hey, the basketball team or whatever, like something that's gonna be kind of like, oh yeah, and then that's how you gradually get back to what you had to do, and then you go right back to the topic or what you guys want to discuss about. Yeah.
All right. I appreciate that advice. I hope that it helps just not me, but other people that are doing podcasting and music out here. Because I think one thing that I see is sometimes, as artists, they want to see numbers and
Right.
they don't
Right.
just want to just hear, hey, I'm overseas. And that's cool and all, but like, I'm starting to realize now that artists want to, they like, hey, I want to see numbers. I want to see what you're doing. I don't just want to just hear, oh, you're overseas or you work with so and so. If you're working with them, cool. But like, I want to be able to have a justification of why I'm not working with you.
Right. And just to add to that as well, I had faced sometimes artists sugarcoated. Sometimes they're the ones that have maybe 3 followers and they have the biggest chip in the where. And you're like, okay, I'm reaching out to you for opportunity, but you want to be an asshole. So I know where your place is at. Stay right there. Same that attitude when you see how far you're gonna go hit like big mainstream people, let's say DJ Drewski or the list goes on to people that are in the industry right now, mainstream. They have that same attitude when you meet them and they act like your shit don't stink. They're gonna walk away and not talk to you, So
Right.
what you just mentioned is true. A lot of times I have contact people like that. They're like, oh, let me see your resume and or how many like you said, numbers. That's the biggest thing right now. Of course, with the music industry, that's like all they care
Yeah.
about. So, like we mentioned, when it comes to like radio or anything, oh, let's see if how many people are gonna listen tune in. Okay, how about you give me an opportunity first to show you what I could provide for you? because sometimes numbers are not everything. People, people falsify things online, buy
Yeah,
streams or buy followers or all that, and their shit ain't. Excuse my French. Their shit ain't nothing. So it's about the value you bring into the table instead of saying, "Oh, what about numbers? What if that guy has 1,000 followers or let's say 10 million followers, and you go to the show and it's like dead air."
people.
Right, right. So it's about, you know what, instead of be critical and saying, oh, they're numbers, numbers, numbers. How about you look at the person's past prior work, see if you're getting the vibe to, and if you like it, then y'all guys do what you gotta do.
All right. I like that because I feel like I think one thing was getting frustrated was because it's like, hey, you trying to do what you can, and then you find people that they think they above whatever.
Right.
Then it's like, because like I just don't deal with the whole thing, and you probably the same way. Let
Oh
these
yeah.
these no calls, no shows, and then it's like, oh, you reach out like, oh, I didn't see you, but I see you posting. Like,
Hello. That's what I'm saying. Like, you couldn't call me, but you're out there busy posting stuff. How does that work? I'm not blind.
right, and then I'd be like, and then like somebody might like I've been in a situation where people might see they might then take the opportunity serious, and then they're like, hey, oh, you've been interviewing so and so. Oh yeah, like can you interview me now? Like, 'cause I see what you're doing. So
Wow.
and sometimes I'll be like, you know what, I'm like sometimes I give you a chance, sometimes I don't, because I just like I'm an artist as well. I'm a drummer. I'm a person like, hey, if I show up to something, I'm gonna show up. I'm not
Yes.
because I don't want nobody to do that to me. I'm not gonna do that to nobody else. And I feel like when people have these podcast shows and all that, that if you're not gonna do it to certain people, don't do it to somebody just because they might not be on that level. Because sometimes you never know what that person on that bottom level can do more than what the upper level's gonna do.
So
That's
true.
how that's how I look at it.
So true.
So it was good to talk about get off the topic and talk about what the realness of the music business because I'm still learning it as I go on every day.
It's
Uh,
okay.
but but we're gonna talk about your gender blending and deliberate creative choice, or does it happen naturally when you begin writing?
Oh man. I always say to me when I go into the songwriting process, it has to be the beat. The beat
Hmm.
has to really, like, it's weird how you say, like, as an artist, and as an artist, well, like when you hear a beat and I feel like it's coming to you, not in that pause, but it has to. It's weird to explain it, but it's like when you listen to a beat and it feels like that's the beat is made for you.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So when you hit that beat, it's like, oh, it's gravitating. I need to do this. So for me, when I have a beat, I immediately I try to get a quiet place, which is rare here, but yeah, right. It's like a lot of crazy shit happening, but I usually, for me, is like if I get a quiet place, I'm lucky. So if I'm able to like be in a quiet place, of course I have to like just I think, and what I do is I brainstorm. That's really big for me. I brainstorm, I put my ideas together, or like I'm listening to a song, yeah, I keep listening to me, and I just start writing. And I just put everything into like order and stuff like that. So then when I go back and play a little bit, I'm like, oh, cool. All right, I'll take this out or add this. And so I go to the recording studio and I'll do my part. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. I like this. Yeah.
So, how does Selena's legacy influence your connection to the Latin music and culture?
Yes. Oh my God. You know me too well. You've been watching. Yes. So pretty much since I has been a little girl, my mom always, like I said, music was always part of my life, even as a young kid with home and stuff. And I think she, out of all the artists I kind of like tune in, she was the one that really stood out to me the most. And why was that? Being a Latina myself and seeing her kind of cross over because she was actually the first Latina. Well, not
Right.
really, at that time from cumbia to now, as they call it, like American or English, they call it crossover.
Right.
And to see like she have, even though fortunately her timing, she passed away her on unfortunately that time. But I
Yeah.
think what she left was a legacy, and to see her work ethic was amazing, and to see how she gave back and she cared about people. A lot of people don't know that. Besides the music side, she gave a lot of back to community. She's done things for the kids. She
Right.
did a lot of charitable work. She also had her own fashion line one time. She had her own nail salon we put in Texas. So a lot of people don't know, she's not only an artist, she's a businesswoman. And that's
Right.
why when I saw her as a young age, my as a girl watching her till now, I idolize her because of her work ethic and the way that she presented herself and her music, of course. It's really resonates with me as a young girl, and I just feel like I always had a connection with her, which is really rare, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she was awesome. She was an awesome talent. Hate that she had to go to the tragic end that she did because I believe she had a lot more in her to give.
Yeah.
Um, and for for people that's in the Latin community and culture that's out here that's making the music, uh, coming across the barrier lines to do something that they really want to do. I honor that because I know it's tough out here for people to even listen to regular music and be like, but for to have the confidence to do that is real big in itself.
Definitely. Yeah.
So you have released projects including It's Christmas Time with Vero G, Trials and Tribulations, The Rise of Vero G, A Brand New Me, Here I Am, Victory, My Anxiety, Energy. So looking back, how does each project represent a different chapter of your life?
Oh my God, this is gonna be long for this one.
Hey, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay, okay. Where do we start? All right, so the very beginning, actually, the all right before the debut album, of course, it was a Christmas time. It's Christmas time, Vero G, and how that worked about. Big shout out to my producer at the time, Cool Breeze, who had a lot of hand into my earlier works as well. And he put, he was an engineer at the time, hooking it up and that sorts. And these are cover songs, by the way. It's not all my original works. It's just cover songs at the time.
Okay.
And he believed in me. He was like, just do the best you can. And of course, you hear that kind of work. It's very early stage, as of now it's different. But back at that time, I was like, I'm going all in. You know what I'm saying? I want to do the best I can. So I did it, and it's out now on digital platforms as well. So with that beginning stage of my music career, from as a songwriter and a singer, and to see the development, like let's say for example, Victory album, that one really was like the stamp hold, as you call it, to my now the path I'm going to my music, and really was like a breakthrough album for me, in that sense. And then for example, the recent albums, Here I Am is another great album. It talks about different things in nature, and I think for most part in that album, it talks about like I'm here, like I'm standing on my 2 feet, and I'm letting people know like I'm not going anywhere. I'm here.
All right.
Definitely, definitely. And then A Brand New Me, that's another, I guess I call it like the a new leaf chapter album, you could say. So that was that. And then My Anxiety, that album, that's the latest album now. I think that one, of course, a lot of people can relate to it. It talks about mental health. And we are living in a mental health crisis and other things as well. But I
Right.
think this one resonates with a lot of people. Like I said, I do suffer. I have no shame, depression, other things I've encountered. And I don't take that as a stigma. I
Right.
think I take that as a way to bring awareness into my music and that sort. So this has been, going on for some time. I want to just help people and hey, listen, it's okay to get help. It's okay to talk to people. Don't leave that and don't leave that to yourself thinking, oh man, people are gonna feel like something's wrong with me if I have
Right.
this or that. So but yeah, pretty much those are like just some of the albums, but the majority of them all, I think from the beginning and until now, I believe the growth in my music's really come a long way, and it just makes me love more music than anything and more concepts and ideas I want to talk about.
So with all the music that you made, how important is vulnerability, being vulnerable with the music, i.e., the words that you perform in your songs?
Oh my god. um now that's something when I do. It's been a while I've done shows since I think April was the last show I did this year. And when I do shows, I feel like it's more of an intimacy with the audience and the people on this, that's next to me on stage and that sorts. And I think for the most part, I hope I'm answering the question.
No, you good.
Okay, okay, okay. I think for the most part, when it comes to being an artist, you also, like I said, being vulnerable, it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. Because since like when you're being vulnerable, when you're putting out certain things that are like kind of personal or things of that nature, you don't want to be judged. Right? You don't want to be like, oh, why they talked about this? They should, people always gonna say something, have the two
Yeah,
cents.
true.
Definitely. So I feel like that's the only thing when it becoming as an artist being vulnerable is just the backlash behind it. to me, I think. But the thing is, as what you just mentioned about being an artist and being on stage, and I think for me, it's when I be on the stage for the most part, it's me gravitating to the audience members and giving them something to leave with. And there was some shows, I'm not gonna lie, that I got emotional. And there was one time this song called oh my God, I forget how I forget my own song. Let them heal you. There you go. Let them heal you. And I never did a Christian song before, the first time. So I did this called Let Them Heal You. It's a beautiful song. And that came around during COVID time. I said, this is something that I think God told me, like, you got to write something about this. During these tough times. People were dying. It was getting really bad out here with the epidemic. And I said, I'm going to write this. And I did. And when I performed it a couple of times, I would get people engaged and people were just in the moment. And I had like one or two people come up to me crying. Oh my God, that song really helped me, or that song really just lifted my spirits. I need to hear that. And I'm like, that means if, as an artist, as you know, if you grab one or two people out of the audience, it doesn't matter how many people, if they come up to you and crying or hugging you, telling me, I needed to hear this, or thank you, that means the job is done.
Yeah, I agree. So you pretty much have adapted some of Selena's traits.
Just a little bit, just not, I mean, her butt, I mean, like, I'm trying to, I don't have a BBL, by the way, it's all natural, but I mean, I don't have that kind of body yet, but I'm working on it.
All right, I like that. I like that. So you're currently working on
working
your
motion.
eighth. Yeah. So currently working on your eighth album, Self Love. Why is this the right time? The project centered on loving yourself first.
Yes, you kind of got it. Yeah, you kind of got everything. Yes. Like I said, every album or song I put out is something. I guess a part of me, you could say in essence, kind of with the song itself. But this album really means a lot to me because I know a lot of people can relate to it. Self love, loving yourself, taking care of yourself for once. Looking out for you, because a lot of times, we live in a society again where people is about themselves or whatever case may be, but it's never taking time for yourself to reflect on who you are. So I think with this album, Self Love, is going to talk about a little bit of different things, but of course, the main concept is about loving yourself.
All right. So you have also you've done a lot of work in your short life. So your work has been recognized by several organizations, including the SITA Awards, the LDM Music Awards, the Europe Music Awards, and the BIA Awards. You've also received a Presidential Achievement Award. What does those recognitions mean to you?
Oh man, I think I'm a type of person which is rare to say this. I don't like receiving. I'm more of a giver. You could say that
Mm-hmm.
sense. So when I do receive these accolades or awards, I do take it. For me, I take it as a biggest honor, because the thing is that when you're a person, like I said, when you're always giving, you don't accept anything. You're just like, no, I want to just continue helping, making other people feel good. So when I receive these amazing accolades, I just feel like something what I'm doing is good, is happening good, and I just want people to know, like, listen, don't give up on yourself, and if you get these beautiful blessings, I call them blessings, just know that you're on the right path.
Right. So, what was the most important award that you received?
Oh my God, the President's Lifetime Achievement Award. That one, I was off my ass when I found out. I was like, what? I'm an honoree and I'm getting this? I didn't expect it at all, because I was like, huh?
But you did it though, so.
Oh, I appreciate it. It really I tell you, that night I cried when I got home, because it was like, just the thought that you're doing good for the community, doing good for the world. You're always sacrificing so much for other people, and to see that now that recognition is being seen, and you're like, wow, I'm still gonna keep doing my thing. Ain't gonna stop me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, for more than 8 years, you have hosted your own television program, the Vero G Spotlight TV show. What motivated you to create the show?
Oh my God. I have to give a big thanks to my producer, J Empire Media. First of all, before we met, I was already thinking about doing kind of like a pilot TV show for artists to kind of like that, get that push that they needed at the time. And when I was able to meet him, he actually was a producer for another TV show. And we just talked, and he was just one day was like, hey, this is how I did do this. I'm like, it's funny because I had the idea too. So we worked together on the platform itself, and it was first, of course, a pilot for a couple of weeks. We put out a couple of shows and that, and people are starting to get a hang of it. They're like, oh
Right.
wow, that's cool. So eventually we saw that we got picked up a couple of times on a certain channels in the Bronx, Manhattan, and also in Brooklyn. And I said, well, this is a good sign, right? So I was like, you know what, let's continue doing this.
Right.
And to see like the involvement, the involve of the platform has grown,
Right.
and to the point where we'll be making, I think, our ninth I think this October, I believe, or so. Yeah. So we took a little hiatus, we took a break because there's a lot of stuff going on right now, but we'll gladly would like to go back and continue making more shows and that. So.
Right. Okay. So you've also entered the radio market with the Vero G Spotlight radio show,
Yeah.
featured appearances on DTF Radio, MPAT 9:30 a.m. Who's Next, NRCR, NRC, NYC Radio, Vero G and Friends, and
Yes.
Healing Your Soul. What do you love about radio that is different from television?
Oh my God, where to start? Oh gosh, it actually is funny. True story. Before I get into that, I years ago I was like in my teenage years, and I always had a to me Angie Martinez was like my idol into radio, as they say,
Right.
and watching her and listening to her how she interviewed people when I saw it, and I was like, I think I might have a calling for that too. I don't know. So now looking back, it was just funny just saying that because it makes all connections to what it is now. But for me, radio, I think one thing is TV is great because you already have a structure, you already have kind of like how to things get done. But with
Right.
radio, you're more like relaxed. You still have notes, you still have to have a structure, you still have to have things in order. But I think for me, radio is more of my home for me, which is rare. Because I'm like right now we're talking and we're having a good time, and it's being natural and having a good time, talking to people, have amazing conversations, and
Right.
engaging as well at the same time, with the viewers, listeners, and whatever you're putting out there. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. That's why I've been doing it for many years, and I'm like, I'm loving it. Like, especially online, this is my go-to now.
Right.
Because it's convenient. People who, like, let's say they go far from the state, they're able to come in person to your show. This is another great way you could just interact with people.
All right. So you've done a lot of work. You've also worked as a model appearing during the New York Fashion Week, walking runways, participating in photo shoots, and being published in the magazines. What attracted you to modeling?
Oh my, where do we start from that one? I don't think it's too much away. I guess you could say from the very beginning, I was like around my teens. I think around like 16, 18, around that 16, 17, 18, around that dynamic. And people are like, oh, I take pictures, just regular pictures. They're like, you're photogenic. And I'm like, what does that mean? They're like, no, you have a natural thing for like taking pictures. I'm like, that sounds like a plan. Maybe I could try something with that. We don't know, right? So down the line, I knew a few photographers in New York City. I was like, hey, let's do it. It's called it's a trade. I forget it's the way they break it down. It's TPD or something like that. Where it basically like you get the photos for free, but they trade it to use it for their like portfolio now. So I was
Okay.
like, cool, no problem. So I will do a couple photo shoots here and there, and I will look at the final product, and I'm like, yeah, this is nice. I think this is something I'm gonna really pursue. And so since that point on, I knew a few other people in the modeling world. I'm so sorry for that. For modeling world and stuff like that. And I was just like, yeah, I'm loving it. I was doing runaways. I was doing like, there were shows here and there first, just, getting the vibe to it. And
Right.
I got stories for days about certain things I see in modeling shows, but I'll keep that quiet. I'm on my business. I don't pay no mind to that shit. I just be like, I'm here to do my thing and get out. So, to sum it up, pretty much, it was a great experience. And then, the opportunity to actually work. I think I've done 3 times for New York Fashion Week, which is amazing. Because to be recognized as a model and then to be selected to do that, it's like wow, that's my high moment right there. So
Right.
I didn't know designers. I knew a few of the designers, like local designers at the time. But I put the clothes on, they know tell me what to do, and I was on that runway rocking it, like yeah, and the reception was amazing. He was like, oh, you a big girl? Yeah, big girls could walk too now. Like, yes. We got to strut too, right? You got
Yeah, true that. I agree.
right, right. So I was killing. They were like, "Yeah, go get it, girl." So I was like doing my thing at the time and that, and yeah, it was great. I mean, actually, it was one of the shows that did. I forgot what it was, a church in Manhattan, and it was like one of the oldest churches. I forgot where, but it was Manhattan. And I got the chance to meet the sister of Laura Valad. Her name is Lauren Valadez, I think was it. She used to be undercover the actress. She's like a lot of shows she's done. Her sister was actually walking with me one day, and she was like, "Oh, my sister's there." And I'm like, "Oh my god, that's the actress, a famous actress." And I was like, and I didn't say that, still quiet. I was like, "Hi." And then I walked away and stood backstage. So it was just a little quick story to that, but yeah, it was just great. I mean, to me, it was like liberation. You know, being on that, when you walk on that runway, you're not focused on anything else but the music, walking, showing off the outfit what you're wearing, and then go back. That's it.
All right, I like that. You also known throughout New York City as a host, promoter, and an event producer. You have worked with venues including Karma Lounge, Sea Lounge, Narrow Poets Cafes, Brooklyn Music Cafe, and Harlem Bar and Grill. What does it take to produce a successful independent music event?
Oh my God, patience. Patience is the biggest key. I'm going to tell you that right now. I think to sum it up, a big shout out to again the guys in the back over there. My business partner, J Empire Media. DJ Lama. Oh, I'm sorry, DJ Lama. Okay, he has to put it in there. Just give me a little plug there for him, right? So apparently we work together besides the TV show, also with the showcase and afterwards. And we had some interesting moments where it was like we had to pull teeth to get shows done, and not in a bad way, but there were times where like there was sometimes artists that were on the bill that were supposed to be there, and it was like the managers had to come in, and you know what that goes with. They want
Yeah,
extra money. It's always some political stuff behind it. So
right.
but we encountered that a couple of times, but the majority of times it was really great to see people come to show support. You know, when we did these shows in these venues, and to see just people uniting together, which was my biggest thing. Which I saw that, and everybody having a good time. The music was great. The performers were doing their thing. People were networking, and to see the people that just love what they're doing and being that same kind of like you know, that kind of world, you could say,
Yeah,
was really really dope. And like to see like when I left the shows, you know when you're doing shows, it's late nights, so
right.
like if you like finish at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and when we go home, I'll be tired. I'm not gonna lie, but the next following days we'll get like inboxes from artists or whoever, and they're like, "Yo, man, that was a great show. When's the next one?" That means like, okay, that means they love the show, so we gotta do another show.
Right, true.
Yes, it was. Listen, it's as being a promoter and doing shows in New York City, you're gonna have some good days and you're gonna have some shitty ones, but you have to make the best of it. So.
Right. So, as music, television, radio, acting, modeling, and event producing wasn't enough, you're also an author of more than 40 published books. God damn. Let me read this again. You are also an author with more than 40 published books through Amazon, Barnes and Noble, online, and off in other outlets. Where did your passion for writing come from, and how long did it take you to publish 40 books?
Oh my. This was a couple years ago. I started out with poetry is my biggest thing too, by the way. So
Okay.
besides songwriting, poetry is always I always say my English teacher, I forgot her name, forgive me. She kind of inspired me a little bit. She was like, you know, when you write poetry, it also turns into songwriting. I said, oh, cool. So that's how it started with me years ago. But poetry is always like an escape for me, like write down things and stuff. So my mom, again, she always influenced me in this. I used to look at her poetry book. She used to be a poet as well, and I would like vision myself in the poetry. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. Yeah, yeah. So when I started doing it myself, the poetry, it'll take a little while to kind of adapt to it, but it gave me more time to kind of visualize what I wanted to write about and put it to effect. So with that in mind, I remember my first book. It was called the one that was called My Life Journey. I think that was the first one, yeah, My Life Journey. And I remember it was actually poetry. I was first starting out write poetry books and that sorts. And I saw a few people like will like buy it or like support it, like, you know, a few friends on my Facebook. Oh, that's cool. I like it. So I was like, you know what? What's the next thing I want to write about? And I was like, you know what? Let me write a book about myself. It was a very short version of it. and it came out to be called An Autobiography of Vero G. No, forgive me, Trials and Tribulations and Autobiography of Vero G. So it's like a little short version of my life, a little bit in some sense,
Okay.
and it was really cool. It was very receptive, and I put it out there. So I was like, you know what? That kind of gave me that motivation to continue writing. And then from that point on, I read several poetry books, certain self-guide books as well,
Okay.
um, and also just more books about my personal life and other things that I could write about at that time.
Okay. Yeah, you've done a do. So my question for you is: do you ever take a moment, even with everything you're doing, to just take a break to just relax and reflect?
You know, it's funny you say that. I told my son the other day, I was like, the day I take a break is when I die. God for me saying this. Because not only I do all this, I'm also a mom, and I'm like, my son's 20. That tells you, yeah, I've been putting the work and doing it on my
Yeah.
own, being a single mom, and that's another story. But I think for the most part, me resting is rare. I'll be
Okay.
honest. I'm always, my brain's always working, and I'm like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Like, so the little time I do have, if I'm able to, let's say maybe in a week, maybe 3 times, 3 days, I don't know. Like if I'm able within a week to do something for myself, I just relax, hear music, kind of like recollect myself a little bit and just relax when I can. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna hit you with some rapid fire questions, and then we're gonna I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions. Then we're gonna head on out. But
Okay.
want to know what do you prefer more, R&B, pop, soul, hip hop, or Latin?
Damn. I have to pick one.
I'm gonna give you because you do a lot. I'm gonna let you pick two.
Okay, two's fine. Two's fine. Got me good with that one. R&B, of course.
Okay.
That's my root with that one. R&B. I think R&B and I do a Latin too, so I'm a mix with both R&B and
Okay.
Latin. Yeah.
Recording studio or live stage?
Oh man. Okay. It's a perk to both of them and there's a downfall to it.
All right.
Um, for me, I'm gonna have to say stage for me.
Okay.
Performance, yeah.
All right. Television or radio?
Damn. Or radio. Radio.
Uh, Writing a song or writing a book?
Writing a song is easier.
All right. Acting or modeling?
Oh, what you doing this to me? Oh God.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Modeling.
hit you with some good ones.
Modeling, because acting is, it's a bitch. You got to be there for how many hours? What other days they need you? Yeah, I'll do modeling. It's easier.
All right. Small, intimate venues, or large outdoor festivals?
I love intimate. More. I like to be engaged more with like in person. Yeah, like here. Yeah.
All right. NYC in the morning or NYC at night?
How about even afternoon? Can we do afternoon?
Oh, we do afternoon.
I'll do
Uh,
that.
Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Selena, or Whitney Houston?
Oh man, you're doing this to me. Come on.
You can pick two. I let
Okay,
you pick
two.
two.
Okay, two. Fine, fine. Of course, Selena, hands down. That's obvious.
Right.
And I guess Whitney Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite song from your own catalog?
Oh man. Turn Me On. That's the one I really like the most now, right now. That's
Yeah. Most meaningful career award?
Oh man. Um, I don't know. That's a toughie one because all the things I got, they're all special to me either way. So I can't really pick one. Yeah.
Okay. One artist you would love to collaborate with?
Mainstream or like independent?
Okay.
Oh, either or. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, either or. It's
Oh,
cool.
no, I was trying to. I was like, I guess mainstream for me if the opportunity ever happens. Mariah Carey, because she's a hard one. Like her
Right.
vocals are like up there. So, yeah. Oh my God.
All right. One venue you dreamed of headlining?
Headliner. If I had to bring somebody, I don't know. There's a lot of people I know like independently that I would love to give them a shot. So I have to put it as a question mark. I can't. It's too many people I know.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to one word that describes the self love album.
Reflection.
Okay. One word that describes you today.
Happy. I'm happy right now. I'm not house. I'm in the house, but yeah.
All right. One thing that your supporters might be surprised to learn about you.
I think they already know a lot about me to a certain extent. To a certain extent. I guess right now I'm still working on new more music. For now, so stay tuned. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you pretty much spent a lot of years building a career while also creating a platform for other people. When you think about your legacy, what do you want your name, Vero G, to represent?
Oh man, now you're gonna get me emotional. Oh my god.
No, we don't do no, we don't do no, no. You can't do no crying. You know.
I know, no, I'm holding it in. I'm holding it in. Trust me, they're gonna come out later on.
Nah, no, you go ahead.
No,
This
okay,
is
no
free.
problem.
This a free space.
I appreciate that. Damn, that's a good one. I think for me personally, is my legacy is just for people to be inspired and to not give up on their own dreams. And let's say God takes me home, I don't know when, it's up to him. To remember me by the good work I've done with these platforms or the community work we've been doing for many amount of years, and to know that there's always a light through the tunnel, as they say.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to let you do your shout outs and let your fans and supporters know where they can find you on social media and your where they can find your music on multiple media platforms.
Definitely. Well, before anything, I'm gonna give a shout out to you, because you've been very supportive in my music. So I want to say thank you before anything with that.
No problem.
Definitely. A shout out to just a few names: Real Lyrics, Big Tank the Real, Star, Gary, Jason. I mean, that's just top of my head right now. Everyone who's been in general supporting me as well. Big shout out to you guys. Social media, you guys can follow me. My social media, or my Instagram, is at official Vero G. I have a website as well. It's www.verogmusic.com. That's all together. Also, you can check out my artist Facebook page, which is at VERO 2884. And I mean, that's pretty much more. I'm on Twitter, what they used to call Twitter, now it's X, but I don't really be too much on there. It's just too much stuff going on there. So, but
Right.
I'm mostly be on Instagram or Facebook. Those are more places you can catch me at. Also, my music, you guys could check it out all digital platforms like Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, Pandora Music, Apple Music. I think there's more places, but YouTube as well. You can check all the music there.
All right. So I appreciate you for joining and sharing your incredible journey.
Thank you.
Your story is powerful reminder that we do not have to limit ourselves to a one dream. You built a career as a recording artist, actress, model, television producer, radio personality, promoter, host, and an advocate for independent talent. From the beginning of the Lower East Sides to stages, radio stations, television, screens, magazines, films, books, and award ceremonies, you have continued to grow while helping others do the same. We wish you continuous success with your eighth album, Self Love, your upcoming performances and collaborations, the Vero G Spotlight brand, and many new chapters ahead. Everyone listening, make sure you follow Vero G, stream her music, support her books, watch her programs, stay connected to her upcoming releases. This has been another special edition of the show. Continue supporting independent artists, independent media, and people creating opportunities for their communities. Until next time, keep believing in your purpose, yourself, and keep pursuing your talents, your dreams, and always remember to love yourself first. And this is your boy AD, and I appreciate you coming aboard. Continue to send me your music.
Yes.
Make sure I'm definitely gonna keep it in rotation, so we never got to worry about that. So I thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
All right.
I'm like this all the time.
It's cool with me. I like it. I like the energy.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. So I'm after everything I see the video, and then I'll post some snippets of it on IG.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you again. It means a lot.
All right. You take care.
You take care. Bye.
All right.
I think I see. Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, I was like, where am I going?